Okay, guys, Michelle in the backyard again. Michelle, living in Ghana now for almost a year. I've been sharing my experiences. My house is behind me there, and I have a couple of sagas. You know, the roof saga, the window saga, the lighting saga. Some of the saga comes from a place of workmanship incompetence. Just a poor workmanship. So that's, and I'm trying to rectify them. Yeah, double pay and all of that. We're not going to go that road again. Everybody understand that when somebody do something and then you have to do it over again, you end up paying double for it. So that's the case. I am new here. I didn't know anybody here when I got here. So whatever references, whatever suggestions, that's what I had going on. What I'm finding out, nobody explained. Many persons didn't explain anything. No detail, a choice. This is the better one to use, or you can use that. But I didn't say, okay, you can use that, but it's thin, it's easy to do. Nothing, no explanation. But anyway, the roofing saga continues with the roofing person that I had here this morning looking at it. A couple persons came, not just Ghanaians, but a couple diasporans, and this is the first I'm hearing this detail, so I'm going to share the detail with you, right? So let me show you the zinc first of all, right? And you have a number of different types, right? And they know that the expenses are different, the cost is totally different. So this one, I guess it was the cheapest, but I try to save money, but I don't buy foolishness. I try to buy something that it's durable but not splashy. That's what I do with everything: underwear, overwear, blouse, pants, roofing material, whatever it is I'm buying. I try not to overspend, right? Because while I want to avoid the extravagance, I still don't want to do a repeat, right? So you take the middle ground. In this case, the suggestion was aloe zinc, right? So I went and asked for aloe zinc. What I'm now realizing is that the zinc that came is two different types. The aloe zinc was in it, but it probably was about 4 or 5 sheets only. So initially I thought I had paid the aloe zinc price for everything. But when we went back and checked the receipt, the aloe zinc price I think was like 170 a sheet. But they didn't charge 170. I think they charged less for the cheaper one and just flinging in the aloe zinc sheets in there. That didn't help me. Very kind offer, very kind gesture, but it didn't help because now I'm stuck with this roofing. So now I'm stuck with this roofing. So when I don't even know how well you can see it, but what I'm hearing is that it's so flimsy, it cannot be repaired. There's nothing that I can do that will make it better, right? Anything I put on it will further damage it. Any walking on it, any whatever will damage. So it's there, or you remove it and replace it, right? So imagine for me being told that I'm going to have to replace that completely. And while I'm talking, if there's anybody else who knows any different, please let me know, because it's down to having a sensible roof for the weather coming. And let me tell you, when the wind is blowing here, if you don't have a sensible roof, you're in trouble, based on what I've seen on the winds. And I mean winds for just thunderstorms, because you have sporadic thunderstorms and so on here, but the breeze gets to be so much. Some of the time you hear my roofing just rippling, and I have to look up sometime, because I swear when I look up I go and see a hole in a gap in the ceiling. That's how awful it sounds. So the gentleman came this morning because I explained to him that water even splashes through the gaps that I'm seeing. So you stand up inside, the rain is falling heavily, and you just feel a sprinkle. Feels nice, but you don't want that there, because by putting your ceiling, all of that moisture going in, it's pure mold from ceiling to floor, right? I have to go worry about that with the floor already. I don't want to have to worry about that with the ceiling. Anyway, he looked at it and said, cannot be repaired. There's these sheetings, they're so thin that the more you mess with them, the more that they are destroyed. And in no time, all of this is gonna rust out. And he's not lying, because I've seen rust start inside already. So, funnily, they said the alu steel don't rust quickly, but the alu steel that is inside there, the 4 or 5 sheets, I think I see 2 with rust spots on the inside already. So let me show you this. Let me see. This is a closer because I have it on the chicken coop. So let me see if you can see it good on the chicken coop. What is on the chicken coop, right? Right? This is on the top of it, so it protects it from rain, but it really thin. You cannot remove. Let me see if I can see this. You see that hole under there, so? It's me attempting to remove the nail and move it elsewhere so that I could shift this. But once it's on, if you attempt to take it off, believe you me, it's going to cause a whole problem. So I see where he's talking about if you touch it, mess with it, it's just going to keep deteriorating. So I am down to a choice now. I was trying to use this refund to get the door on my bathroom and my bedroom, because you know you're going to have people going through. You want to secure certain areas for privacy's sake, and you want the windows in because I want to stop seeing the rain coming through that area. At least it's coming through the walls because it's not rendered, but so you're minimizing these problems a little at a time. So I was hoping I could do my solar system, so do the electricals and go straight into putting in the solar system, so we have electricity. At least when the sun's shining, you're good to go. But my dears, if there's a choice between the roof and the solar, I guess the solar got to stay. So I do the electricals and pray that the generator, it's set up in a way that the generator can connect somewhere and it's me get some light when we're running it, if you get what I'm saying. Because then if it's going through the house, then you can plug your stuff in any socket in the room, in the house. And after you plug and I say I bought a deep freeze, so those who didn't see, I have another video that I mentioned it and talked about it. So if I can plug in those things, get another little fan and so on, and you can do those things, and the light, not having the light, not so bad, if you get what I'm saying. So I'm gonna have to remove the sheeting on the roof and get a better one, because not only would I have to do it eventually because it will rust, the damage, the holes, I'm trying to find the holes at this point would not be so easy, right? So I'm gonna have to replace the roof. Another suggestion I heard while talking to the roofman, I got, and I think I put a picture of the roof vent. I see some people have it because I found a picture online, and there are persons here who have it. They put the vents in the metal vent, you know, like those vents that you see on the floor in your apartment for your AC to push through, or in the RV, it's in the roof, it's in the floor of the RV I was living in. I don't recall it in this, it was on the floor, right, not in the roof. But I seen picture with that vent, it's to allow here to pass through the ceiling, the gap, so that you don't have the heat trapped up there. But he pointed out that all you need is to do a circle for a regular pipe. Let me show you the pipe. I showed him this, right? So I have pieces of that. You would cut it and use that thing at the tip there, so that the ear. So you cap that. I think I'm going to put a mesh around it so I don't have lizards and whatever insects climbing through it. So I'm going to line inside with some mesh, and I'm going to cap it to a piece of that, pipe, and bore a hole on the four corners of the ceiling. So at the corner there, get a circle matching the size of that, and then cap it with that vent thing. What that does is still allow the air in, and it's cheaper for me. So I about sourcing the vents I'm talking about and that other people use, right? It's cheaper for me. I'm just showing you options here. I'm not telling anybody say don't buy any vent. I'm just saying that an alternative to the vent is to just use regular plastic pipe. Get your carpenter to bore a circle. Now you have to be careful which carpenter you use, because some of them now have the equipment. They do not have the equipment, and therefore they may cut spheres that are not really circular. Can I say it like that? So I guess if there are any ridges or any openings around the cutout too, you can use caulking and seal that, because I will have to do it. So I have to go check out caulking. I have to go check out maybe the caulking gun, and I'm going to have to buy 4 of those like vent things so that it can go on it. I need to buy an elbow too, because that thing is supposed to go in the ear. Instead of throwing straight out, it's supposed to turn up in the ear like that. So I'm going to try and get it, right? And get a carpenter to cut the 4 holes to put the vent in there. And I think I have to paint it and then enough caulking so that I can go along the edge there. Get rid of some of these lizards, because guys, let me tell you, some big lizards, and the tech is like a dolly house up there. They're in and out. So I don't particularly like that. I don't have any problem with them being outside. Can't do anything about them being outside. But say in the house and you see them, I have a problem. A friend told me that she get up and see lizard on her pillow. I can't imagine it, facing something like that. But anyway, that's what I wanted to share. I haven't gotten the estimate yet. They're going to work out what it's going to cost to switch to a better sheeting and the cost to put it on. And how am I going to do that living in the house, you ask? He says it can be done in a day. So we have to pray for our day that you have sun and everything is ready to go, and they just come very early and they go remove and put on, remove and put on. No, I can just imagine what you'll see, especially in the areas where the ceiling is already in, because I'm sure I hear insects up there, lizards up there in the night some of the time. But that's just an aside. Anyway, I was just looking at a section of the zinc. I think we had a ladder there, so it bend. When it bend, it can't straighten back, The others, I know there are thicker ones that can, but it really, really soft. And I didn't know how soft until I was here. So the good thing is, when these sheeting come off, they're going to be torn and have holes and so on. But I can use them to replace some of the fencing. So I'm going to have zinc fence. That's what's at the back of my mind. But anyway, thank you for listening to my droning. Hope what I had to say helped somebody clear up something somebody has, some questions somebody has, and so on. And as usual, comments, any suggestions or alternatives or whatever, I'll listen. Don't give me no expensive ideas, people. Please. Thank you.